The summer of 1947 was a time filled with hope, but also anxiety. World War II had ended, but the Cold War was beginning to escalate. In this climate of global tension, a strange event unfolded near Roswell, New Mexico. It all started with a rancher named Mack Brazell. On his usual rounds, Brazell discovered unusual debris scattered across his property. This wasn't the kind of wreckage you'd expect from a normal airplane. News of the unusual debris quickly reached the nearby Roswell Army airfield. The military, at the dawn of the Cold War, was on high alert for anything out of the ordinary. Major Jesse Marcel, an intelligence officer at the base, was sent to investigate. Examining the debris, Marcel himself was taken aback. The incident quickly became local news, with the Roswell Daily Record publishing a front-page article on July 8, 1947. A new press release stated that the debris was not from a flying disc, but from a crashed weather balloon. The military's initial claim of recovering a flying disc had captured the public's imagination. However, the quick retraction of the statement and the attribution of the debris to a weather balloon left many questions unanswered. Why this sudden change in stance? The official explanation, although seemingly plausible at the time, began to crumble under the weight of investigations. The materials recovered from the crash site, as described by witnesses who handled them, did not match the properties of a typical weather balloon. Testimonies from individuals who served at the Roswell Air Base during that period painted a picture of secrecy and a cover-up. Rumors circulated about strange materials being transported under tight security, personnel sworn to secrecy, and threats against those who dared to speak out. Glenn Dennis, a young mortician working in Roswell at the time, claimed he received a phone call from the base mortuary requesting small, hermetically sealed coffins. He later witnessed military personnel transporting unusual bodies to the base hospital, although his testimony has been disputed. The official story began to unravel further in the 1970s, fueled by the growing interest in UFOs and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Jesse Marcel, who had initially handled the debris in 1947, revealed in an interview that he believed the military had engaged in a cover-up. He maintained that the materials he had seen were not from this world. As more witnesses came forward, each adding their piece to the puzzle, the Roswell incident transformed from a forgotten event into an enigma. The military, sticking to the weather balloon explanation, only fueled the suspicions of those who believed that something extraordinary had occurred in the New Mexico desert. The Roswell incident, once relegated to the fringes of public consciousness, experienced a resurgence in the 1970s and 1980s. This period was marked by a surge of interest in UFOs and the possibility of extraterrestrial life. Books, documentaries, and television shows explored these topics, capturing the imagination of a public increasingly skeptical of traditional explanations for the unknown. The Roswell incident, with its tantalizing hints of a government cover-up and the recovery of something truly unusual, became a touchstone for this burgeoning UFO community. Researchers armed with curiosity and access to previously classified documents began to delve deeper into the events of 1947. One of the most prominent figures in this resurgence was Stanton T. Friedman, a nuclear physicist and self-proclaimed ufologist. Friedman dedicated years to investigating the Roswell incident, interviewing witnesses and studying documents. His book, Crash at Corona, the definitive study of the Roswell incident, published in 1980, reignited public interest in the case. As more information came to light, often through the Freedom of Information Act, the inconsistencies in the government's narrative became increasingly apparent. Witnesses began to share their stories, adding their voices to a growing chorus that questioned the official explanation. The Roswell incident was no longer a local curiosity. It had become a global phenomenon, a symbol of government secrecy and the tantalizing possibility of extraterrestrial contact. Part 4. Shadows of Doubt. Unraveling the government's role in Roswell. The government's response to the growing scrutiny surrounding the Roswell incident did little to quell the suspicions of those who believed a cover-up was underway. Its explanations, often contradictory and shrouded in secrecy, only fueled the flames of conspiracy. One of the main points of contention was the government's claim that the debris recovered from the crash site belonged to a weather balloon. However, witnesses who had seen the materials firsthand disputed this explanation. They described materials unlike anything they had ever encountered, with unusual properties that defied their understanding of conventional aircraft construction. In 1994, the United States Air Force released a report titled The Roswell Report Case Closed, which claimed that the debris actually originated from a secret Cold War project called Project Mogul. This program involved launching high-altitude balloons carrying microphones to detect Soviet nuclear tests. While the report provided a seemingly plausible explanation for the unusual debris, many researchers and skeptics remained unconvinced. They argued that the timing of the report, coming after decades of denial, and the lack of concrete evidence linking Project Mogul to the Roswell incident smacked of a desperate attempt to maintain the cover-up. Furthermore, inconsistencies in the testimonies of key military personnel involved in the incident, as well as redactions in official documents, fueled the belief that the government was hiding something. The Roswell incident, once a seemingly simple case of mistaken debris identification, had become a labyrinth of conflicting narratives, hidden agendas, and a lingering sense that the truth lay buried beneath layers of official secrecy. Part 5, Majestic 12, Truth or Fabricated Fiction. As the Roswell incident evolved into a cultural phenomenon, new and even more sensational claims emerged, blurring the lines between truth and fiction. One of the most controversial of these was the alleged existence of Majestic 12, or MJ-12, a top-secret group of scientists, military leaders, and government officials supposedly formed by President Truman in 1947 to manage the recovery and analysis of crashed alien spacecraft. The story of MJ-12 first surfaced in the early 1980s, when ufologists claimed to have received a roll of film containing documents detailing the group's existence and its involvement in the Roswell incident. These documents, dubbed the MJ-12 Papers, describe the recovery of alien bodies from the crash site and the government's efforts to keep the incident a secret. The MJ-12 Papers sent shockwaves through the UFO community, providing what seemed like concrete evidence of a high-level government cover-up. However, the authenticity of the documents has been fiercely contested. Skeptics argue that the documents are clever forgeries, pointing to inconsistencies in their formatting, language, and historical accuracy. They also question the chain of custody of the documents, which remains murky at best. Despite these criticisms, the MJ-12 documents continue to hold sway over the imaginations of many who believe in the extraterrestrial explanation for the Roswell incident. Whether genuine or fabricated, they added a new layer of intrigue to the already convoluted narrative, further blurring the lines between speculation and reality. The MJ-12 documents, regardless of their validity, highlight the enduring power of the Roswell incident to spark debate, fuel conspiracy theories, and challenge our understanding of the world around us.